Hey there, algebra students. Mr. Lawrence here. It's my day off. It's 10:26 on NEOEA day. You guys are all still in your PJs and playing video games and stuff, and I'm up doing work. But I've been thinking about you and how proud I am of you, and I decided I better put this video together. Now, I gotta warn you, I might have some problems because my airliner needs to be charged and my charger's at school, so I'm gonna do the best I can. But before I get started, this is to help you with the homework that you're working on this weekend, the one that's due Sunday night at 11:59. I first wanted to share with you these scores. These are not your test scores. No, your test scores were stellar. Okay, these are, or I should say quiz scores, I guess. These are your quarter grades. Okay, now there's a couple students not in here because they missed the test because they were, absent or whatever. But look at this. I have never had results like this. Out of two classes, there is one student that has earned below a C. That is amazing. You deserve to tell mom and dad to buy you a candy bar or a blizzard or a milkshake or something. You're working very hard. And this one student that had a D, I think he's got his head screwed on straight right now. At the beginning, he was making a few mistakes and not making some good choices. And now I believe he's rectifying that. I think he's been working hard, and so his grade is climbing. So I would expect that if he keeps that up, he won't be below C level next quarter. Okay, so I have seen his effort. I am proud of him for that. I want him to know. Anyway, look at that. 18 A's, 4 B's, 2 C's in my second period class. And then we have 12 A's, 9 B's, 3 C's, and then the 1 D. Those are amazing scores. Amazing. I am extremely proud of you. And that's why I want to make this video, to help you. When you do your best, it makes me want to be a better teacher. So thank you for doing your best. All right, so I wanted to help you just a little bit with your homework. I've got a couple problems here, like you might see. We're going to talk about problem number 1 here. And I've got a specific agenda. And you see how my mouse is acting up. So I do apologize. There's not much I can do about it. All right, remember we learned that we can multiply to get rid of our denominators, right? And we can use the LCM, the least common multiple. And many of you can say, hey, Mr. Lawrence, it's 10. And absolutely, you could multiply by 10 over 1 and by 10 over 1. And that will turn that into a 5. And that will turn that into a 2. And so I'll have 2x. It's going to equal 15. Don't forget we're multiplying here, right? And we're multiplying here. And then I divide by 2 on both sides. I didn't show it. Don't get bent out of shape. I'm just going kind of quick. And I'll get 7.5. Okay? But that's not the only way you could do this problem. I showed you another method that might, well, actually, you know the one-step equation method, but I showed you another method that works when you have trouble finding the LCM, right? And in that method, I suggested that you don't actually multiply the denominators together, but you show the multiplication of them. Now, this is guaranteed to get you a common multiple, but it may not get you the least common multiple, which is okay. It just causes things to be a little bit bigger. So here, the 5s would cancel out, right? And I'll have a 2x. And here the 2's would cancel out, and I'll have a 3 times 5, which is 15. And you can see I'm getting the same exact work that I was the other method. And when I divide by 2, I'm going to get 7.5 again. So it just proves that you can do it 2 different ways. Now, I know you know that, so I'm not going to bore you anymore with that. What I wanted to talk to you about was problems that look like this. I don't know that second period got to see a problem like this during class. 8th period did, and they had a rough time with it. You see, they all wanted to multiply by 6, or 3 times 2. Well, let's put the 2 here and times 3. And I'm going to put the 2 here times 3. And let's see why it would not be a good idea to multiply by 6 or 2 times 3. Well, now you're thinking, Mr. Lawrence, I think you're wrong, because over on the right-hand side, Mr. Stone is thinking, well, Mr. Lawrence, the 2's cancel, and I'm left with 3. 1 times 3. And I say, well, that would be true, Mr. Stone, except what's happening here? He's going to try to say that the 3's cancel. Now, I wish you could respond back to this video right now. This should bug the heck out of you, because using Wonder Woman, canceling fractions, simplifying fractions is what operation? Division, right? And division is the inverse operation of, what's that, Hannah Wolf? Yes, exactly, multiplication. Very nice, nicely done. Nora, what operation is this? Yeah, it's addition. So if we did this, Mr. Stone, you see, we would be using division to undo addition. Are we allowed to do that? No, of course not. Okay, now some of you are going, wait a minute, now I'm confused. It's too hard, I don't know what to do. Well, sure you do. It's real simple. The method that I described to you was to not multiply the two denominators together, right? Oh my goodness, this mouse is going crazy. So I'm going to multiply by the two denominators, but I'm just not going to multiply them together. You see that? The two denominators are x plus 3 and 2. 3 is not a denominator. We don't know the value of this denominator. It's going to change based on what x is. If x is 1, this denominator is 4. If x is 7, this is 10. But we don't know what it is. Not yet. We'll figure it out. But, so, let's see here. Oops, what is going on? Oh my goodness, get out of there. Oh my goodness. Gremlins are taking over. All right, so I guess it is getting close to Halloween. All right, so now over here, I'm going to have a 2 times a quantity of x plus 3. All right, now some of you are going to say, well, the x is going to cancel with the x, and the 3 is going to cancel with the 3, and all I have to say to you is, no, we can't use division to cancel out multiplication. We can't do it. We're not allowed. All right, we have to use division to cancel out multiplication. And look right here, I have multiplication, don't I? And technically right here, I have multiplication. So this quantity of x plus 3 can cancel with that quantity of x plus 3. But Mr. Lawrence, it's not in parentheses. Well, yeah, but I could still call it a quantity, can't I? Isn't it still a group of x plus 3? So now the left-hand side is going to become 10. Okay, and I'm going to cancel out these 2's. And now I have to distribute. Now distributing a 1 is kind of a waste of time. Perhaps I should have put a different numerator there instead of a 1. But you have to remember to distribute. So I'm going to get x plus 3. And then when I get x alone, we're going to know the value of x because x is going to be equal to 7. All right, now I'm going to prove to you that's right. 5 over x plus 3. And then I'm going to substitute the 7 in for x. Well, 7 plus 3 is 10, isn't it? So this is 5 over 10. What does 5 over 10 simplify to? 1/2. See, it works. All right, so what did I do? Well, I wrote each denominator. And if you want to write each denominator as a quantity, you can do that. That's not wrong. It's kind of unnecessary and cumbersome, but if it helps you see it, then by golly, you better do it. All right, so let's come down here. Let's first identify our two denominators. It looks like I have an x and then an x minus 7. So I'm going to multiply both sides of the fraction by the quantity of x times the quantity of x minus 7. And then over here, times x times the quantity of x minus 7. See, they look like a difficult problem, but there's two things going for your favor. One, I'm making this super easy. And two, ladies and gentlemen, are pretty darn smart. Over here, these x's will cancel, right? Leaving me with a 1 times, here, you know, let's change that. Let's make it a 2. All right, let's make it a 2. So I'm going to 2 times x, and then 2 times negative 7. So I'm going to get 2x minus 14. All right, over here, the x minus 7s will cancel, and I'm going to have 1 times x, or just x. Now I have x's on both sides. I don't like that. I think I'm going to subtract 2x from both sides, and I will get a negative x equal to a negative 14. I can divide both sides by negative 1, right? And x is going to equal 14. And there you go. All right, very good. That's it for the video. I sure hope you enjoy the rest of your weekend. I know I'm going to enjoy mine. I'm going to watch that big Buckeye game tomorrow night. I'm actually hoping to get out to see our football team out at Menor tomorrow afternoon. I think I'm going to make it. So I might have to bundle up. But anyway, Mr. Lawrence signing off. We'll see you Monday. Have a good night, everybody.